And I could see Kehoe there. She is ultra competitive. Coach Dunning has talked about it. She was just screaming, come on, come on. We got to get going here. She wanted Gerard to be able to come up playable for that ball.
Take a look at the hitting errors so far. Uncharacteristic for the Stanford Cardinal on their home court. Why would you not always go to Barbosa? I mean, when it's going, it's going. And tonight, it's going for Barbosa.
Because you also have Kleiman, Akinradawo, Gerard, Waller. They have so many weapons. But yes, tonight, Barbosa seems like she's coming up bigger for Stanford.
Kehoe with the serve. She says this is the most competitive Stanford team she's ever played on. Johnson with the good save. Here comes Barbosa again. Sather will set up Johnson. Nice read by Rachel Johnson.
And that's what UCLA really wants to do, is just keep digging, keep earning opportunities until they can get a swing. Didn't even get that great a swing, but Johnson puts it deep enough that Kleiman wasn't ready, and they pull even 22 all.
Was one of the top players in the country, graduated from Torrey Pines High School. She is a senior now for the Bruins. Spicer keeps it in. Waller.
Nice read by Kehoe there, all over that dump.
Kleinman, long. Point, UCLA, and don't look now. The Bruins have the 1-point lead, and John Dunning wants a timeout for the Cardinal. UCLA leading Stanford in game 2, 23-22. Game 2 of our regional final, UCLA leading Stanford by 1. It's the first time they have taken the lead in this game.
And it was that play the Bruins contested right here. We call it a gaff. It could be called a chowder, a chuck, salad tongs, whatever you want to call it. But since that play, let's see how it comes out there. Yeah, she just throws that up. Bad spin on that. Since that play, the Bruins have outscored Stanford 5-1.
Now, both of these coaches are known for their stoicism, but I've seen anything but that tonight.
And in fact, Banikowski almost got a yellow card during that protest of that play 6 points ago.
See how they come out of the timeout. Kehoe is calling for it. She's going to set up Barbosa.
And Barbosa's also calling for it. You were talking about it already. Barbosa really turning it on in this game. Now she has 11 kills, hitting over 300. But she goes to the back row.
Waller. And Stanford right in the thick of things. They lead by 1, and they're doing it without Feluca Akinradawo, the Pac-10 Player of the Year, and she seemed fairly quiet tonight.
Well, the best way the Bruins can have success against her is to go on a long run when she's on the bench. And she has been stuck there, probably cooling off a little, because the Cardinal were stuck in a couple of rotations where she is in the back row. That's when the libero comes in for Akinradawo and for the other middle blocker. So she's been cooling off on the bench. That's when any team's going to have better success against Stanford.
For up-to-the-minute news for everything that is college sports, log on to ESPNU.com. This online service is a gateway to the best in college sports content from ESPN, combining the latest news, scores, features, video highlights, podcasts, and much more. If you don't have ESPNU, be sure to log on to ESPNU.com and type in your zip code at the top of the page, or call your local cable operator or satellite provider. Log on to ESPNU.com today. The brackets from all regionals so far, it has been upset Saturday.
Except for the top there. Penn State has TCOB taken care of business 3-0 throughout its 4 matches. Really on a roll, but they're going to face a very hot Cal team that beat defending champion Nebraska, and not just beating them 3-0. Meanwhile, USC beating a strong Texas team 3-0. Very strong day for the Pac-10.
We should mention both of these teams split with USC this season, so it will be an interesting semifinal in Sacramento, California for NCAA volleyball.
And in fact, Stanford only has 2 losses. One of those 2 losses was to USC. Not many teams can say they got a split against the Stanford Cardinal.
We are tie in game 2. Spicer with the serve. Kleinman. Wow. There's your 6'4" freshman.
When she reaches high and snaps, she can go over just about any block in the country. There she goes over and also finds a little bit of a seam. Mills dropped her right hand a little too much there, left a hole.
Kleinman, all Pac-10, the only freshman to earn that award this year. Kehoe in the thick of things. Barbosa, Kehoe will set up Waller.
Great play by Stanford, and Waller coming alive there. I think UCLA's Katie Mills would be better off not trying to hit some of these plays from 5 feet off the net and just passing it up and running a whole new offensive play. We saw 2 weaker contacts by her in that rally.
Service error. So is this an opportunity now for the Bruins? The 5th service error for Stanford as Gerard now comes out of the game for the Cardinal. Allie Daly serving in San Jose. Akinradawo. McGraw. Akinradawo. You said it in yesterday's semifinals. They basically double-team Akinradawo. They shadow her the whole entire match, wondering what she's going to do.
And you can see 2 blockers against her. She still gets it put away. So I almost think you've got to she's going to get her kills no matter what. Cal Poly over-focused, I think, on Akinradawo. So much so that it took them a little out of their game.
It gives folks like Barbosa and Waller the chance to come alive, and they both did that last night.
Yes, you can't really, there are so many weapons on Stanford's team, you can't really focus on any one in particular. It just makes it too easy for the other 4 to be effective.
Fine. Kleinman.
That is the 2nd time that Rachel Johnson for UCLA steps a little to her left. All she has to do is take 1 step to her right. You could see her, thinking to herself, I got to be there and help my right side blocker, Caitlin Sather, out, because Kleinman is unstoppable one-on-one out there.
Barbosa. Really, defense versus offense right now. Barbosa again. Nice dig by UCLA. McGraw. Back set to Sather. Wow.
It's like a boxing match. They're taking shot after shot, and finally UCLA gets the swing one-on-one. Sather puts it away. A couple of incredible defensive plays on absolute cannons coming across the net from the Cardinal.
Jump serve Sather. Boy, that falls quick.
Dump. Anytime that left hand of a setter goes up, the right hand doesn't, it can only do one thing, and that's put the ball away. Top college teams have to recognize that. Now Stanford.
And UCLA on game point calls timeout.
Visit ncaasports.com/hospitality for your official fan ticket and hospitality.
And the Pac-10 Freshman of the Year has exploded in game 2.
And she can do it on that particular play. She does it with almost no approach, but she is deadly coming inside. You see that inside hit. Not only that, but she can block. She's run off serve. She's played great defense. She passes for the Stanford Cardinal. Amazing all-around talent for a player of her height at 6'5".
In what you have seen in women's volleyball this year, is Alex Kleinman the best freshman?
Well, she's making a great case for herself, and it did not help the other players she's competing for that award with. Not that she's really focused on that. She wants to win this match. But Julianne Fassett has had a tremendous year for Texas. But Texas losing 3-0 today against USC probably did not help Fawcett's case to be Freshman of the Year, but those two were the two most highly recruited players last year and both having great seasons.
Quickly, Coach, Benikowski calls timeout for UCLA. What was his thought on that?
I think for one thing, he wants to regroup, make sure they get a good pass, run their offense, and control this Akinradowo serve right here.
This is game point for Stanford. Feluka Akinradowo. And there is a service error.
And the timeout served its purpose. It's just like cooling off a free throw shooter, calling a timeout. But now UCLA has to earn a tougher point by serving for the point.
Barbosa. And Stanford takes game 2. Barbosa on the attack, goes out of bounds. And what a slugfest.
She gets her 12th kill, but Stanford has to be very happy going in tied 1-1 going into the break.